Today I thought we'd talk about 5 things I love about my Shirley 2436 smoker. Now I got this idea from watching a video from Offset Rookie. I really liked what he did with the video, so I'll put a link to it right up here somewhere. So I thought I would do the same thing with my Shirley Fabrication 2436. Now hopefully this will help some of you that are looking for a premium smoker. So let's get on with the countdown. Here's the top things that I love about my Shirley, and hopefully they'll be helpful for you as you're looking at your own premium smokers. The first thing that comes to mind for me is the quality. The quality of the materials and the workmanship on the Shirley is unmatched. The next thing when we think about the quality is the type of steel. The type of steel you get matters. We've all heard this before, but the thickness of the steel has a direct correlation to how successful your cook is going to be. You want to get at least 1/4 inch steel thickness for a premium smoker. Lately the 3/8 has become more common for some builders, and the Shirley is a combination of both. So the cabinet that you see right here is 1/4, whereas the pipe that you see right here is 3/8. All in all, you've got a 1/4 cabinet with a 3/8 pipe smoker. Fantastic quality. The next thing for me personally is the door latches. Some builders, you can hear the thunk of when metal is locking into place. You just spent thousands of dollars on a smoker that you want to pass down for generations, and the latch, which you will use most often, is an afterthought by this maker. If they skimp on one thing that you did notice, then they probably skimped on something else that you didn't. The Shirley latches are like Thor hammers. You could beat someone to death with them. When you put that latch in place, you know it's in place. The design of the smoker matters. We all know that. I had one reverse flow smoker that as soon as I got it, I just knew the firebox was going to be tight. It was much smaller than I thought it would be. The smoker doesn't have that problem. There's ample room in this firebox. And the vent, or the draft in, is incredible. So airflow matters. You can see the intake, or you can see right here, there's your baffle plate. So your smoke's going to come up past this. Basically, your smoke is funneling up right through here. Then it's going to turn and be drawn back this way, where it's then going to be pulled down to vent right there. At which point, man, I love that door latch. It's going to exit out this stack. So it's got a small collector to pull the draw down, which then is going to help it vent out the top. The Shirley design burns clean. The damper system allows you to increase or decrease your smoke profile and change your hot spots. Well thought out design. The next thing is size. This smoker has so much capacity. It's a 2436, but I can load this smoker down with multiple briskets. I've had another 36 model reverse, night and day difference. You'd be lucky to get one brisket on the bottom shelf. You need to understand how much space you're going to get when you read the dimensions of a smoke chamber. The design of a smoker can be cut from a 36-inch chamber down to 30 inches by the time they add the brackets and dampers into the smoke chamber. From here to there is 30 inches of space. So even though it's a 36 model, it's basically 30 inches. That's not an issue with the Shirley. I can load this smoker down. Take a look. You can easily get 1, 2, 3 briskets. Okay, you got 3 briskets on the middle. Easily 3 briskets on the bottom. probably maybe 2, 1 to 2 on the top. Bare minimum, I'm easily getting 6 briskets, maybe 7 on this smoker. The design of the Shirley maximizes the amount of space you get to work with. The next thing is ease of movement. Axle and rear tires. Most of us don't plan to move the smoker once it's in place. Now, I have smokers with small casters. I have some with wagon wheels, and I got one with a rear axle with real tires on the front and the back. Wagon wheels, they're okay, but you end up having to lift up the smoker to move it. The Shirley has a 3,500 pound axle on its back, has real tires in the front. Moving this smoker is not hard. To me, the next thing to consider is fit and finish. So you're in the market for a premium smoker, then most of the time you're going to be dropping over $2,000 on the smoker. Now that's on the high end for a backyard smoker. So if you bought a high-end house and the doors did not close properly, would you be happy? If you bought a high-end car and the seams of the car panels were jagged, would you be happy? This brings me to what I love about my Shirley. The craftsmanship is top-notch. You can roll up to anyone. I mean, look at these welds. Look at the fit and the finish here. Here's the back of it. No one's ever gonna see the back, but look at this. They do this and no one would ever see it. This is exactly the type of craftsmanship that you would want. They're not playing around. This is true craftsmanship. We spoke about the quality of the materials, the fact that you get a quality fire basket, the fact that you get a quality ash pan, the fact that you get a sacrificial heat plate up top right there so you don't burn up your paint. All of it speaks to the quality. All of it does. Roll up to anyone who knows welding or metal fabrication and they're going to give you a nod. Now, some will argue that welds don't matter. They want the tried and true pair of work jeans versus spending money on a silk dress. Yeah, I really had someone tell me that and I just laughed. You spend the same amount of money. One person has cut doors that are jagged with pinhole leaks in the welds that are going to rust over time. The other has tight fit and finish that reflects the skill of the person who makes the smoker. To me, the only person who excuses poor craftsmanship is the person who has to live with it. The next thing is reputation. I wish it wasn't true, but if you're watching YouTube to learn about what someone likes in a premium smoker, then I would guess reputation matters to you. I spent over $2,000 on a smoker that did not have a brand or reputation of a premium smoker. I love that smoker. It cooks great. It's one of my favorites. However, there's no community around the brand of smoker. For some of you, this won't matter. For others of you, it will absolutely matter. I'm on both sides, as I have one smoker with an excellent brand and another with a less brand and reputation. Both smokers are good. However, the community for the Shirley smoker is second to none. Shirley Nation, it's like family. It's amazing how much support they lend to one another. And they're avid in what they do. They are enthusiastic about what they do. And it shows. And so the type of support that you get from one another shows. So I'm giving you a lot to think about as you consider your next purchase. There's a lot of quality pit makers out there. Most of you are not going to buy multiple pits. Most of you are going to, be the backyard guy that's migrating up from one cooker to another to another. When you start getting into $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 range, you tend to be at the top of the range for the backyard guy. So doing the research, understanding what you're going to use your smoker for and why you need the features that you do, it's really important. And one last thought. Do you plan on selling the smoker? If at some point you've got to sell the smoker, do you know the resale value of the smoker? So for example, the Shirley 2436, I see on the Facebook groups all the time where people are selling the smoker because maybe they've got to move, or typically, honestly, most often, it's because they've just upgraded to the bigger smoker. They've been on the custom wait list, and so they got the 2436 while they were waiting out their wait. And now their builds come up and they're going to pass on the smaller one to someone else, and it helps fund the larger one. But if you are going to have to sell your smoker, which hopefully we wouldn't, does it keep its value? And not all smokers keep their value. Some people, it's discounted the minute you bought it. And it just depends on what part of the country you're in. Where I live, Meadow Creek is not that fantastic a brand, even though it's a great quality smoker. It seems to be, it's more popular in the Northeast. If you've got a Meadow Creek, you've got it going on. Where I live, they're not very common, and so the brand is not as well known, so therefore you're not going to get as much money for the smoker. So think about where you're at. Think about what your barbecue community looks and feels like where you're at, because that's your audience for whoever you're going to sell this to. Anyway, these are all my thoughts on why I like the Shirley. I think the Shirley is a fantastic smoker. I sold most of the smokers on the porch just because it got a little bit crazy. But I kept 3. I kept a Kamado. I kept my Texas Original just because I'd done so much work on it. I just truly have a fond affection for that smoker. And then I kept the Shirley because it took me so long to get the Shirley, and I'm so proud that I have a Shirley. I mean, it is a beautiful cooker. Produces fantastic barbecue. And I know that I've supported a small business, family owned, American made. Those things are important to me. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you want to. Every little bit helps. And I'll catch you on the next video.